Bonsoir! I'm the Mademoiselle and Sassy Deuxième Chanel and Jody nous allons parler de growing up as an immigrant Haitian child, but I feel like almost anyone who grew up as an immigrant child can definitely agree with everything I'm going to say in this video. So just a disclaimer, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone with this video, but a lot of you are probably going to be ridiculously offended, and you should be. This is my story, and just like with anyone watching this, you have the right to tell your story, and no one can take that away from you. If anyone's gonna try to make you feel bad about talking about what you went through, that's bullshit. If anyone's gonna try to say that you're a bad child or you're a bad person for talking about it, whether it be on a public platform, in therapy, to your friend or whatever, that is gaslighting. That is disrespectful, and that is a form of emotional abuse, which is literally something we're going to be talking about today. You literally have to stand up to people when they're trying to tell you that you are wrong for talking about your experience. I'm literally talking about this because this needs to stop, and it ends today. Haitian parents and other parents who are parents of first-generation American and children, first world countries, need to be aware of the detrimental problems that they are causing to their children. This is a very hard video for me. This is a very different type of video for me. And it's gonna be all over the place. It's not gonna be structured. I have a whole lot of notes over here, so if you see me looking over here, that's why. And it's gonna be a lot. A lot of it's gonna be personal, but I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate. I came to a lot of realizations this week, and I'm mind blown. I finally realized what's been causing my bipolar episodes, and I'm shook. This video, I know, is going to attract a lot of toxic parent apologists. Yes, that's a thing. People that are like, well, I know my parents did so much for me. I'm going to give them everything that I can, and I don't care. They've been through so much, so there's no use in talking about this because they're never going to change. They are amazing people. I'll literally give my life for my parents. Understand that that is not how life is supposed to work. You were brought into this world because your parents decided to have you. Therefore, they're supposed to do everything for you. This is a conversation that needs to be had, especially if you're one of those people that's going to have your future children around your parents. Because it does not matter how much you think you broke generational curses. If you plan on having your kids around your parents, they're going to put the same type of toxicity into your kids' head, and they're going to make the same mistakes with your kids that they did with you. So you have to stick up to your parents or bring all of this shit to your parents' attention one way or another, whether you're just going to do it straightforward, let it out, have a blowout, or you just bring it up to them in a soft way, soft tone, whether you send this video to them, whatever it is. You got to do something, because this type of shit needs to stop. This new generation has to put an end to it, something, because this is a real serious issue. Like, I really never thought about all of this being a problem until like literally this past week. So I just came to a lot of realizations this past week as I have been ridiculously depressed, and that's because I realized that my parents are toxic. Now, a lot of you guys who have been watching me are like, girl, just realize your parents are toxic. Listen, I literally am a very different breed when it comes to a lot of the things that I've been through with my parents. So if you've been watching me for a long time, you would know that I've made very few, but I made enough videos regarding my upbringing, about my Haitian parents. I did not grow up like a lot of Haitian kids. My parents never beat me. They never degraded me. You know, I didn't grow up with my parents talk about some, oh, I'm a cochon, I'm a sans ave, and all of that. My parents did not do that to me. Like, Haitian immigrant kids specifically were like, oh, you know, I was never part of that trope. My parents let me roam freely. My parents never beat the shit out of me. My parents did not verbally abuse me. So I personally was confused when people would be like, no, what your parents were doing to you was wrong, until I got older and everything started to emotionally affect me. Personally, what I went through was emotional abuse. adultification, neglect, and just a lot of gaslighting. So if you guys have not watched my previous videos, I will most likely link them down below. They are on this channel as well as my main channel. Please go subscribe to those, and just check the description box between that channel and this channel to get familiarized between my upbringing and just a lot of what has went on in my life. So I have grown up in the hood. However, the hood that I grew up in and a lot of the hood that a lot of other people grew up in, completely different. So I dealt with a lot of situations where I had to go through financial strife. My dad has a gambling issue and a very serious financial issue, and my mom has always been the breadwinner, and my mom has constantly given my father financial power, which he has then taken the money and gambled it away. And many Haitians watching this, you would know this gambling to be called bullet. My dad has a serious issue with literally taking any and every penny that he finds and going to do bullet with it. I have been homeless. I've had to stay with people. I've slept in motels. It's a very serious thing. And it really bothers me that he doesn't see anything wrong with it. I've said something, people have said something, friends, family, all types of people have said things to him, and he doesn't see anything wrong with it. And my mom's the type of person where she doesn't really say anything until she gets really, really mad, and then she has to blow up on him, and it's like he'll get upset and then he'll disappear. It's a really annoying type of thing, and it gives me an emotional blockade because I'm just always stuck being the strong one, and my life has been like that, where I feel like, one, I always have to protect myself and defend myself because, one, I have parents who are always financially unstable. So I'm always like, nope, gotta pay for this, nope, gotta take care of that, and I gotta be strong for them because my mom's always threatening to commit suicide because of the shit he does, when in actuality, you're the one making the money, and you should just not give it to him, and you're the man, so you should take care of the fucking finances, father. And it's like weird because I've always had a very annoying a relationship with both of them, because it's like I'm cool as fuck with my parents, right? I don't hate them whatsoever. I have a very, very amazing relationship with both of them, but deep down inside it's weird because I'm a daddy's girl. But at the end of the day, both of them and both of their behavior has affected me to a point where I am so independent that I do not let anyone do anything for me. And now that I'm slowly letting people do things for me, whether it's my man, my friends, or anyone else, I don't want them to. And as soon as someone does something wrong, I'm just like, yep, this is why I should have done it myself. Nope, this is why I don't let anyone do it. Like I get mad so damn fast. And a lot of things that really annoy me about this is I didn't notice how a lot of this affected me until I started going to therapy. So if any of you guys know me, you know that I am a strong advocate for therapy. I am very I don't play that shit, go to therapy. Any of my friends come to me, I'm like, go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. I even convinced my man to go, I do not play that shit. Keep in mind, I've been going to therapy for years. I've been on and off medication, and it took me a lot to understand what was causing everything. I'm also extremely open in therapy, and also understand if you're gonna go to therapy, you can't lie. I go in there and I'm like, yeah, so I did this today. Yeah, I didn't take my meds this week yet. I go in there and I tell, I don't give a fuck, because it's counterproductive. If you're gonna pay money, even if your insurance is paying it, whatever the case may be, you can't go in there and talk bullshit. You can't go in there and be like, oh, well, I'm fine this week, or, oh, well, I'm just gonna not tell the therapist that, I hung up the phone on my boyfriend because he pissed me off, or I'm not gonna tell my therapist that, I was a fake ass bitch this week to someone that did nothing to me. You have to be real about it. So therapy helps. Go to therapy. I'm a strong advocate, and I don't play that shit. I practice what I preach. I practice what I preach. Quand on est haïtien, you'll toujours dire, oh, why was it therapy? Ceci, voilà, and they always be on that bullshit of, yeah, pray it away, à l'église, all that bullshit. They always in church, but they still toxic as fuck. They always in church, but all of them is fucking demons. They always in church, and they still unhappy. So I don't know what the fuck church doing for them, but all I gotta say is, go to therapy. I said what I said. Sac pas content, on embarqué. So it's one of those things where I was always on medication and I go see a psychiatrist. But I decided to go to therapy because when you go to psychiatrists, they give you medication and you do get to talk to them, but it's not as in-depth. And I started realizing I had a dissociation issue. Now, dissociation is kind of like when you're not in the moment and you're kind of like not here, but you're here. And it's weird. Like I found myself like saying things that didn't make sense in the moment, or it's like I wore something today, but I don't remember. Like I can't put my finger on it. Like, so I know I'm wearing black pants and a Haiti top, but I can't, like, if tomorrow right now it's Monday, say if Wednesday someone's like, Yvana, what did you wear Monday? I'd be like, I don't know. Like it's that bad. And I always say my biggest fear is being at a crime scene and the cops come to me and they're like, Yvana, what did you wear at that time when you saw this person? And I'm be like, girl, I don't fucking know. Like, it's that scary. And I realized I would do it too damn often, and I'm like, that is not normal. Like, I don't think like that's good. And I thought I just had bad memory, and I've always been like that. And I had to ask my friends, I'm like, guys, like, have y'all noticed I have really bad memory? And they were all like, yeah, like you never remember shit. And I realized, like, even like say I would do these story times on my channel, I'd have to call my friends sometimes, like, yo, what did that man do to me? What did that girl say to me? Why don't I like her? And they'd be like, oh yeah, you don't remember? And I'm like, yeah, I know I don't like this person. I know I don't, mess with this person anymore. Like, I don't know why. And they're like, yeah, he did this, she did that. And it's like, it's weird how I don't fuck with somebody and I don't remember I don't fuck with them. But I remember, like, for as long as I can remember, I've always been like that. And I just thought it was like a bipolar thing, because that's a thing from bipolar. But apparently I found out that it's not as common. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So I decided to go to therapy. And I realized that apparently it's a trauma thing. And I know that I have PTSD from holidays, because that's another thing that I did on this channel where I was decorating sweater cookies and talking about how my Haitian family ruined Christmas. I want to, break furniture and fight and have police called and all of that. It's another video I'm going to link down below. So I have dealt with a lot of trauma, but that's the thing. I never realized that a lot of my trauma comes from my parents literally leaving me at home. And this is another thing that I kind of dealt with as normal. My parents left me when I was like maybe 4, 5, 6, and I'm not joking, you're over exaggerating, because my parents talk about this on a daily, like almost regular basis, where they're like, oh yeah, we used to live you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, we all the time, like, yeah, you were just such a smart baby, we just used to leave you because sometimes we didn't have no one to watch you, you were just so smart, we just told you to leave the TV on and don't open the door for strangers. Yeah, like my parents just leave me at home with no babysitter all the time. Is this bad parenting? Absolutely. Is this a form of neglect? Absolutely. Was I scared? No. Would I do this to my kids? Absolutely not. Always like just shrugged it off, and I never noticed how a part of this was a problem until now. Now I'm an adult. It's weird because I was talking about this in therapy, because she was like, well, when I was telling her about how I can't remember a lot of things and how I kind of like disassociate all the time, she's like, well, have you dealt with any trauma? I'm like, no, never been beat, never. Like, I'm going down the things of categorically things that I always think about when people talk about toxic parenting. And I'm like, I've never been beat, never been verbally abused, never been like, and she's like, well, your parents leaving you when you're 4, 5, 6, 7 years old with no adult to watch you consistently is considered neglect. And I'm like, I never thought of it like that. And I'm like, yeah, I was never scared. But then I'm like, wait, Yvana, you lived in the fucking hood. People trapping in the hallway, getting shot in the hallway, getting beat up in the hallway. I'm hearing it. It's echoing in the hallway. And then I had an uncle that had a crazy girlfriend that was threatening to shoot him through the window, which was literally directly through like kind of my room at one point, because when he left, I literally took that room over. So I had trauma, and I was like terrified, thinking like she would do something to me because she hated me. So it's like, yeah, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so it's just a lot of situations that I had to go through and think about, like, yeah, that's neglect. We have the identification. When it comes to the identification, I was literally setting up bills, talking on the phone for my parents, translating, and doing all types of things an adult should do at like 10. And that's not normal. If that's what you're doing to your kids, if you're a kid and you're watching this and you're literally like 7, 8, 9, 10 doing this, that's not normal. I understand that there's a language barrier, and I understand that you do rely on your kids to do this, but your kids should not have to worry about setting up gas, cable, electricity accounts at that age. They should be worried about playing with their friends. They should be worried about playing sports. They should be worried about their academics, not setting up a Verizon account, setting up a, electricity or a gas account, going to the supermarket to translate, and now they can't go to soccer practice because, they had to go pick up their sister at daycare. Like, it's just very strange. I remember, since I was the youngest of my friend group, I was literally always getting picked up and dropped off to school with my other friends that lived in my building. And since they all graduated, middle school to go on to high school, I had to literally take the city bus. Now, since I live in Jersey, people think that New Jersey is just like New York. There is no subways here. Okay, there's no subways, and most people out here have cars. So it was kind of embarrassing because I went to Catholic school.
Now, you guys are probably like, how did your parents afford to put you in Catholic school? Well, at one point, my parents were kind of well off, and then things started to fall apart, especially with my dad's gambling habit. So realistically, they could not, which is why eventually I decided to go to public school, and my parents were really, really upset about this. But a lot of the time, my parents did not pay my tuition on time, and I spent numerous days in the principal's office and had to lie to my friends saying I was sick because they didn't pay my tuition. They sat me down, didn't let me do my work, and like for days on end, I would just come to school and sit in the office or sit in the cafeteria or whatever. It was very embarrassing. So there's that.
And I would take the bus. And I was the only kid taking the bus. Everyone else had cars picking them up, parents picking them up, and I had to walk to take the bus. And I remember I told none of my friends this. I would just act like I was going to like Dunkin', because there was like a nearby Dunkin'. It was across the street from the bus stop. And my friends were like, oh, where are you going? Or like, the school would kind of like try to like catch me. And I don't know, now that I think about it, I don't know. What is the legal age for taking a bus? Like, is it illegal to take the bus? Because like it was as if they were trying to like they would try to interrogate me almost. Now that I think about it, I don't know. I'm waiting at the bus stop, and I would have to like kind of avoid it because I had to wait like maybe an hour or two, because at this point, the cars are turning at the bus stop because everyone would kind of take that way. So I had to like not let anyone see me because I didn't want to be told on. I didn't want anyone to like ask my parents like, oh, why aren't they taking the bus? Like, why are you not getting a ride home? So I remember like having to learn to take the bus because no one was able to pick me up. At this time, my dad had like immigration issues, so his license got taken away, and I'm sitting here taking the bus. Like, I mean, I thought it was cool because I learned how to take the bus, and none of my friends knew how to take the bus. So I was like, cool, I know how to take the bus. Like, I never thought anything of it. So it's very weird. Like, I'm sitting here learning to take the bus. No one else knows how to take the bus. It's cool because at the end of the day, I learned how to do a lot of things before a lot of my friends did. I knew how to set up utility accounts. I knew how to take the bus. I knew how to buy things. I knew how to do things before anyone else did. But it caused me to be hyper independent. And I've talked about this on my main channel. Being hyper independent is very counterproductive at the end of the day. Because what happens is when you start dating, now, especially as a Black woman, it sucks because now men are looking at you like, what can I do for you if you can do everything for yourself? And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. That whole legalese level lakai thing is very detrimental for your kids. I'm telling you, a lot of you parents are sitting there like, oh, you can't sit there and legalese level lakai your kids to death and then be confused as to why your kids aren't married, because you literally stuffed your kids' nose into a book to the point where they can't get a fucking man because they are so independent that they don't need no nigga and they don't want no nigga. You can't be mad at them for that. Because now, either one, they scared of them, two, they don't understand them, or three, they don't want them. That's literally what happens. I literally, by the age of 15, I could have fucking bought a house if I had the money. It was that fucking serious. I knew how to do everything. I knew how to file taxes. I knew how to set up utility. I could have took a bus, train, or plane to another country by then. I literally had to take a plane to France by myself at 15. My parents dumped me at JFK Airport. My flight was canceled and no one knew about it. I was left with a phone that had no fucking minutes because my parents didn't want to buy me a phone. I begged to get a job. They didn't want me to get a job. I begged to get a job until they let me work at my family doctor office. Thank God for that. I got my own phone, but I don't remember what happened, but I guess I just didn't, put minutes on it. I ran out of minutes. Flight got canceled, or my flight got rescheduled to the next morning. I'm 15 years old in the fucking airport. I had to sleep in the airport overnight. Slept in the airport overnight, got on the flight the next day at 15. Is that legal? I don't know. I feel like that has to be endangerment of a minor of some sort. But you guys understand what I'm saying. At 15, I really could have literally ran away and probably been perfectly fucking fine. I probably could have been emancipated. I was way too independent, okay? Way too independent. And with immigrant parents, they'll really sit there, give you all of this responsibility, give you all of these tools to literally be an adult. Because at the end of the day, they're not giving you these tools to take care of yourself. They're giving you these tools to take care of them. They're giving you these tools to help them out. But then they'll bring you right back down to be like, oh no, you're a kid. Doesn't make any fucking sense. The translations is annoying, okay? I understand that you have to help your parents out, especially when they first come here, but it doesn't make any logical sense how a lot of these Haitians especially have been here for 20 years and they can't speak English. I don't get it. It's like, do you not try? Do you not want to? Do you just rely on the fact that you have kids and other people in this country to help you? But it's very annoying to have to constantly translate for people that have been here for 20 plus fucking years. Do you have to literally take your kids out of school? Take your kids out of extracurriculars? All your kids out of work, out of any type of whatever, just to translate for you? Why do you think that's okay? Why? It's problematic. Please start going to take language classes. This one right here, get offended, okay? Any parents that's watching this, any Haitian that's been here for more than 5 years, okay? And that's a generous one right there. That's a generous, and it's not even just Haitians. This is anybody that's been in this country or any country. This is not even just America. This is not this is for France, Germany, anywhere. If you are in any country for more than 5 years, and like I said, that's generous. If you don't know the language, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your kids and your family, whoever you have with you, a disservice because you're relying on them to communicate for you. And that's a fucking problem. You would do 10 times better if you knew the language. You would navigate better if you knew the language. Stop relying on other people to do things for you, especially your kids. And to add to that, every immigrant child can relate to having to teach your parents the same shit over and over again because they don't understand the language. They don't care to learn. They're relying on you, especially when it comes to electronics. You cannot tell me that I'm teaching you how to text, how to add a contact, how to literally do something on your phone 1,000,000 times, how to do something on the computer 1,000,000 times, and you can't understand it. You can't. How, bro? Do you just not want to understand it, or you just want me to do it for you all the time? I can't. I really can't. Because at this point, you just don't want to learn. That's what it is. You just don't care. You don't want to learn. You want to piss me off. Which one is it? I can't. That's what it is. Haitians, especially, they'll sit there I want a smartphone. I want an iPhone. I want an Android. I want this. Okay, give it to you. Now you can't learn it. Now you want me to use it for you. At this point, I should have left your ass with the fucking chirp, okay? I should have left you with the little Nokia because you was better using that shit. You knew how to use that just fine. But now you can't use the touchscreen. When it's tap, tap, go. It's click, click, click. I'm not understanding. Then y'all don't even want to answer your phone calls, okay? Honestly, every kid could relate to this one. This whole, oh my God, listen, put telephone, excuse me? This your phone that most likely I bought you. You're telling me that now you don't want to answer your phone. Now all of us out there, you want to act like you not here. Listen, don't play with me. And what really annoys me is most of the time they acting like they can't answer the phone because they can't speak English. Sometimes what makes me more mad is a lot of time they can speak English just fine. They just don't want to. They want to save their English, okay? This is the term that me and my friends like to use. They want to preserve it. Your business sauver, okay? For the right moment, for the right time. Listen, I don't have time for y'all little goofy asses, bruh. I really don't. My dad is fine when it comes to this. My dad could communicate just fine. Just fine. It's my mom that be trying to act like she don't speak English. But I call her one time on the phone. I literally called her and she was on break. And she's literally speaking full-blown English. Oh, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine. I see you after my break. And I'm like, playing me for 26 years, sis. So, you know, a lot of y'all parents, let me just tell you right now, they be lying. A lot of y'all parents speak English just fine. They just want you to be there to translate because they're comfortable. Knock their asses out their fucking comfort zone. Like, so you want me to answer your phone calls because you don't want to tell them that you're not here. Like, listen, this is not the house phone. This not that. This is your personal phone number. Bagay la, it comes up as your name, Marie Jeanette. Stop playing with me, man. Like, listen, I'm not playing with y'all. Haitian parents be tripping, bro. Like, they be confusing the hell out of me. Like, how you gonna tell me to pick up the phone and say you're not here when it's your phone? Like, you here. Like, that's your phone. They know it's your number. Becoming a third parent. Now, to be honest, I'm happy I was raised as an only child. I do have a half sister, but I was raised as an only child. Thank God. Because this one would have made me run away at like 14. I don't have time. Now, I know a lot of you have like 10 siblings maybe, and I feel so bad for you. And comment down below if this is your story. Too many immigrant parents have this whole notion of I have to work 50, 60 plus hours a week. So I'm going to make my oldest child do all the chores, run all the adult errands, and essentially become another parent figure for my child. This is honestly not just even an immigrant thing. This is like a lot of parents who just have a lot of kids in the household. Even like a lot of like these like modesty type of parent type of people, or just people who have like just an abundant amount of kids do this whole buddy system, older kids take care of the younger kids, mentor system. Like, I've heard a lot of different names for it, but it's essentially where the older kids take care of the younger kids and become a third parent in the household type of bullshit. And that is the most disgusting, unproductive, detrimental system of raising kids that I've ever heard. If you can't take care of all your kids adequately, don't have them. I said what the fuck I said. Your kid's job is to be a kid because they did not ask to be here. It is not the kids' jobs to raise the other kids. I don't understand who the hell told y'all it was okay to do this. It is not their job to be doing grocery shopping and raising the kids, to be waking up the kids every morning, be putting clothes on them to make sure they get to school on time. It is not their job to be making breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time to make sure they eat properly. It is not their job to be making sure they go to doctor's appointments and making the appointments at a timely manner. It is not their job to make sure they do all the chores in the house in addition to their schoolwork and handle their social life and their academic life and everything else on the table. And of course, y'all always want them to go to college on top of that. I don't understand. What the fuck do you think these kids are? Mules? Slaves? I don't get it. I don't know what world y'all live in. I don't know what universe y'all live on, but it ain't fucking Earth and it ain't fucking right. Y'all need to get it together. I don't know what the hell possesses these parents to think that it's okay to have kids that literally are raised by their siblings. It's not okay. Stop that shit. Kill that noise. That's one thing I'm happy my parents always called out in other parents in my neighborhood. Funny thing is, I've always talked about how I have no other siblings in my household and I was raised as an only child. And it's funny because a lot of people found it crazy that I literally, from the age of like 7, told my parents, please don't have no other kids. And my mom actually had a lot of miscarriages before and after me. And I always found it kind of sad. But at the end of the day, I always told my parents, like, y'all can't have no other kids because y'all can't even take care of me. We're having all these financial issues. Like, I was always very, very like sharp. And to be honest, to my own demise. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, to be honest, let me tell y'all this right now. It's okay to have a close relationship with your kids, but it's not okay for your kids to know certain things. I don't like the fact that I knew about my parents' financial issues. I don't like the fact that my parents were able to translate in so many words that they didn't have money. I don't like that. Don't let your kids know certain things like that because it's not going to translate well to them. And I feel like a lot of that contributed to my emotional issues and basically created an unhealthy relationship between me and money. I don't think I became money hungry, but that's probably the reason why I got a job at like 15. I feel like that's why I kind of, even to me, like, I feel like I'm not that great with money because of it. I feel like I have like a dependency or like a bad codependency with money. Even though I live in my own place now, I pay all my bills. I get real anxious. Like sometimes I'll come home and I know my bills are paid, but like I'll be like flickering the lights on and off because I'm scared. Like, oh my God, how about if my, my shit didn't get paid? Or like I'll constantly look outside in the driveway like, oh my God, how about if my car get repoed? Even though I know my car has been paid, So it's like, it's little shit like that. Like I'll get real anxious. So even though if you have a close relationship with your kid, don't let your kids know certain things, because what happens is you'll create a sort of anxiety for your child. And I feel like that's where a lot of my anxiety does come from. One little thing will turn into a really big thing extremely quickly, especially for me in my head. My parents and I have a very close relationship, especially with my mom. My mom tells me everything. And my mom doesn't understand that her telling me everything really creates a cloud of scary negativity for me. And since I'm always thinking, what's the next problem? What's the next problem? Every time she calls me, I get anxious. I'm like, oh my God, bad news. Oh my God, what's she gonna tell me now? Oh my God, who died? Oh my God, so it's okay to develop a close relationship with your child, but certain things your kids should not know. A lot of people want a little brother, a little sister. And a lot of people always ask me, oh my God, weren't you so lonely by yourself? When you're going through all these problems, don't you wish you had another brother or sister to go through them with? If anything, when my parents pass away, I'll probably be like, damn, I wish I could split this bill. But to be honest, never have I ever sat there like, I wish I had a brother or sister to talk about this with. I don't give a fuck, because my parents could barely afford me. Where the fuck was they gonna afford another child? I'm sorry, they could not. Do I sit here and be like, oh my God, I wish they would have had another kid? No. Never wanted another brother or sister after me. I always wanted an older brother, but I never sat here like, oh my God, I went to get another kid now. The fuck? Who's gonna watch them? That was always my first thing. Who's gonna watch them? You think I was about to sacrifice my singing and my dancing? I was out here, okay? I was a little celebrity in these streets. I had shit to do. Is it selfish? Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm allowed to be that. I had things to do. I had a life, and I liked my little life. And singing, dancing, drawing, writing, that is what saved me from not committing suicide. And yes, this video just got real dark, but I had to tell the truth. That is what stopped me from doing a lot of destructive things. I still ended up fighting and being real angry and being emotionally distressed, but a lot of what stopped me and kept me sane was being artistic. What kept me from being out of the streets after the fact was literally delving into my creativity. So I don't regret not having siblings. Like, it is what it is. I don't wish death upon those babies, but it is what it is. Actually, I was actually supposed to be a twin. I was supposed to be a boy and I was supposed to be a twin. Like, it is what it is. Apparently they claim I ate my twin. I mean, hey, I guess only the tough survive. Sorry, child. Rest in peace. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but I was supposed to be a boy. I was supposed to be a twin. I don't know where the kid went. Rest in peace, twin. Sad shit. I was actually supposed to be born in December too. A lot of fallacies going on there. It's very sad shit. I wonder what life would be if there was two of me. Oh my God, we've been so cute. We would have been two Mademoiselles, or Mademoiselle and Monsieur. It would have been lit. I mean, damn, we could have made money. The Capricorn in me. C'est là je m'appelle. C'est là je m'appelle. It's just, it is what it is, right? People, you need to be very, very careful what you tell your kids. You can be closer to your kid, but understand that certain things that you tell your kid will really affect them. If you're sitting there, you're telling your kids, oh, we don't have any money, we don't have any food, we da-da-da. Yes, it's okay to be open, it's okay to be honest, but certain things will affect your kids a certain way. Now your kid is probably going to be looking towards other people for money. They're probably going to be doing strange things for change. They're probably going to be stealing. Certain kids are going to react certain ways to certain things that you tell them. Another thing a lot of immigrant kids can relate to in this type of scenario is sacrificing a lot of things for your parents. So now that you know everything that your parents are going through, now you're sacrificing your time, your wants, your needs, because now you're like, oh, well, I know I just got $50 from my aunt for my birthday, but I know that my mom can't pay the gas bill. I'm gonna give it to her. This is nice, it's noble, but that's yours. And a lot of immigrant kids have a hard time being selfish, putting themselves first. This whole sacrificing your wants and your needs. Oh, I'm not gonna go to this party, I'm gonna stay home with my parents because, they look sad today. I'm gonna stay home with my sister and my brother because, my parents are gonna do overtime. Listen, I need y'all to understand this. I need y'all to understand this clearly. Your parents need to learn that if they're going to have kids, they need to establish who's going to watch them. Your parents need to learn that when they're gonna have kids, they have to establish a savings. Your parents need to learn that they're gonna have kids, they need to learn how to be responsible. I need to understand since when it was kids' jobs to not be kids. The problem with a lot of these toxic parents, apologists, and people who like try to make excuses for this behavior is they don't understand that a kid's job is not to pick up the slack of parents. A kid's job is to be a kid. It's okay for a kid to help out if they choose. It's okay for a kid to want to do something because, you know, they genuinely feel the choice, okay? They have the choice. But when you're literally like, oh, when you're forcing a kid to do something, it is toxic. And all of that toxicity has a horrible negative consequence. And that's what we're talking about. The negative consequences of immigrant toxic parenting. Things that only immigrant children will understand, because there's a complete difference between the way children born in America are raised from literally other American children and other, you know, and other first world children, and people who are just, you know, regular, who have parents born in first world countries and things like that. It's a complete difference, and there's a reason for it. And a lot of people do not take any of this into consideration. There's different types of trauma that we go through that a lot of people will probably never understand. So when we're talking about this, they looking at us like we have 5 heads, and they're like, okay, so why didn't you just go out? Why didn't you just do this? Why didn't you keep your $50? And it's like, listen, it's harder to explain. And a lot of us don't break out of it. I left. I moved out, but at the same time, I'm still getting jerked around like a motherfucking rag doll. I'm 26, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why am I still letting this bullshit happen to me? And I'm like, nope, it ends today. And I have to talk about it. Like, I talk to my therapist, I talk to my man, I'm talking to my friends, and I'm like, this is crazy. And I don't even think that the whole problem is that, you know, this is happening for me. It's the realization of understanding my parents are toxic in ways that I just never thought about and understood. I've literally been emotionally abused and neglected. Like, I always just thought about it. I've been suffering from my parents being financially irresponsible. That's just that. And that's always just how I took it. Like, I never thought about it on any other grounds, any other way, because I don't know, it just never crossed my mind. Now, surely, even though I grew up in a hood where mainly we're not gonna hurt each other, like, we don't usually rob, shoot, or kill each other. I know I could walk around my hood freely any time of the night. Nobody gonna do nothing to me. But at the same time, I did have to grow up with drive-bys, getting shot at, all types of goofy shit from other people pulling up to our hood to do shit to us. But it's still one of those things where, yeah, you're gonna be traumatized by other things going on. You know, seeing prostitution, seeing drugs, seeing people get beat up, seeing your friends get killed at 13, 14, 15. Like, you're gonna be traumatized by things like that. So I always thought my main issues was, yeah, hood, and being traumatized by being, you know, evicted, sleeping in motels and shit like that. I thought that that was the extent of my trauma, and I always just left it at that. I never thought deeper into any of this shit. I never thought about all the tight positions I was put into. Another thing that so many immigrant parents do to their kids that all immigrant children can relate to is being guilt tripped when you try to stand up for yourself, especially when it comes to money, okay? All immigrant parents will come to a point where they expect their kids to work, or their kids go to work on their own fruition, and they're like, oh, give me money, $50, $100, $500, $1,000, and, you know, their kids are like, okay, you have to pay me back. They're like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. And when their kids ask for it back, oh, why are you asking me for money? How dare you ask for me to give you this money back? Oh, I fed you, I bathed you, I gave you a roof over your head. Where's my money for everything I gave for you in your life? This is ridiculously toxic on all fronts. Just say you're not gonna give the money back when you borrowed it. Just say, can you give me money? Don't ever say, can I borrow or can you loan me money when you don't have the intention of giving it back, because what the fuck is the point? I literally rarely ever loan anyone money because I know I'm never gonna see it. This is ridiculously fucked up. I don't even understand like why people borrow money from children in the first place. It's just, you gotta be down bad. You gotta be down bad when you're taking money from children. You gotta be really down bad when you're taking money from your own child and you don't give it back. You gotta be really down bad when you're gonna take money from your child, say you're gonna give it back, and then when when they ask for it back, you make them feel bad about it. If you're a parent and you're watching this and you do that, shame on you, and you're gonna reap what you sow. Karma's a bitch. Most immigrant kids don't come from much. And most immigrant parents who do this literally are struggling enough as it is. I know a lot of y'all are probably not gonna have money to send your kids to school or literally support whatever it is that your kids want to do after they get out of the house. So I don't understand what logic you have when you're doing this to your kids. You're not going to be able to do anything for them when they decide to leave or whatever it is that they decide to do. So why are you doing that? I don't get it. I don't get it. You're taking money from them, not giving it back. They're probably saving to go to school, to move out, to get married, whatever it is. Why? Just why? I don't understand how anyone makes excuses for this behavior. I don't give a fuck where the hell these people went through, what life they had. Because at the end of the day, when you get older, when you become an adult, it is your responsibility to take care of yourself and deal with whatever trauma you went through, not put it onto your fucking kids. I don't care. I don't. Because it's not fair for you to act a certain way to your fucking kids. It's okay to voice your opinions, but what's not okay is to act a certain way to your kids to the point where you're damaging them. And they're telling you, and you're still damaging them. For those of you who are going to try to come on this video and defend the toxic actions of immigrant parents or other toxic parenting, understand, when you become an adult, it is your responsibility to save yourself, to treat yourself, to take care of yourself. But it is never okay to damage your children in the same way or worse. If you are doing any of these things or enabling your parents to do these things, understand you're going to have kids, or you probably have kids that are around your parents, and the cycle is going to continue. This video is to have this discussion, to help others have this conversation with their parents, their grandparents, or any other adults that's going to be around their kids, to help the cycle stop, because it ends today. We're not going to do this bullshit. We're not going to sit here and gaslight other victims of this abuse. Yes, we're going to say victims because all of us are victims of this abuse. Even you that is sitting here enabling this type of behavior is a victim of this abuse. I don't give a flying fushette about anyone who sits here and gaslights this behavior, and anyone who sits here and thinks that this behavior is okay. Anyone who sits here and thinks that this type of behavior is justified. I don't care about anyone who thinks that I curse too much, anyone who thinks that this behavior is justified because of the trauma or anything like that. You got to stop making excuses for Haitians and everyone else saying that, oh, well, they went through this, they went through that. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You're a fucking adult. Moun sa yo se fout gros moun. Moun sa yo se gros moun yo ye that's set. Nou komanse nerve m'ave baye sa. When you're an adult, you need to think fucking clearly or get some psychological help. And stop saying that it's hard to get psychological help. You guys can spend hundreds of dollars on hair, clothes, men qui des a green card on Haiti. I said what the fuck I said. Offended, I don't care. And a whole bunch of other shit. And all this time scrolling on Facebook, talking on WhatsApp, and God knows what else, but no one wants to spend time on the internet trying to find free resources for psychological help. Better yet, I did a video on free psychological help. I'm going to link it down below. Anyone can look up free sources for psychological help. If you have Medicaid or Medicare, you can get free sources for psychological help. Stop making excuses. Start being proactive. We need help. A lot of immigrant children can definitely relate to being mentally ill. If you guys have never came across my lovely face before, you guys would not know that I do have a few mental illnesses. I have a mixed bipolar disorder, generalized anxiety, PTSD, ADHD connected to binge eating, and I have depression as well, but it's usually seasonal, sometimes ongoing, offgoing, but most of the time bipolar is usually called bipolar depression anyway, so sometimes I kind of just leave it out because I don't want to say it's the same, it's not the same, but you guys get the point. So yeah, got a lot going on. A lot of kids who grew up in immigrant households usually got a lot going on. A lot of people that I know usually have a lot of anxiety. It's a problem, especially because a lot of these people walk around undiagnosed and think they just angry, think they just need anger management, and they need 10 times more than that. A lot of them are socially delayed, especially the children, because, you know, Liglies left for a lock eye, okay? They literally only have connections with people that they see at home, school, and church. And this is a problem because if you don't have any connection with people outside of there, unless you have a very wide basis of people in those places and they're literally engaging you, it's not a great thing. Like, and a lot of these churches are not that good at literally educating these kids at doing anything. It depends on what type of church you go to. Like, some of these churches are really short. Like, Catholic church is not that long. Catholic Haitian church is kind of long, but even at that, they don't really treat you that much, let's be real. And then you got like a lot of these Baptist churches, some of them are long, like a freaking 6-hour process, but again, some of them are not in depth. They're not teaching you like real things. Like, think of these little kids. A lot of them can't fucking speak these days, so they're sitting here on a freaking tablet. And you know, if they're not giving you like a broad base of education and speech skills, what are they really learning? Let's think, like, what are these kids really learning if they're not being around a broad base of kids and a broad base of versatility? And then, you know, if they're going home, there's not that many kids to connect with. It just doesn't help. If they're not in extracurriculars, if they're not outside, if they're not dealing with a broader base of kids and, you know, making friends, that doesn't really help. So a lot of them are socially delayed, and you know, that leads them to being very, very dependent on the people in their households. That creates a parental dependency, and that's what they want. Do not get fooled, okay? A lot of immigrant parents, especially Haitian parents, they want their kids to be dependent on them. This is why you see a lot of fucking like 24-year-olds that can't do nothing without calling mommy or daddy.
Mom, how do I take the bus? Mom, what's my car insurance? Mom, how do I pay my tuition? Mom, how do I talk to this boy? Mom, how do I text? Mom, dad.
That's problematic. I can't tell you how many of my grown-ass friends can't do something as simple as learning how to establish a fucking utility bill. That's an issue. Or don't know how to set up a bank account when you literally can just Google that. Like, so many things that you can literally research. A lot of people that I know that are literally my age, my grown-ass 26, can't even fucking do. Like, it's mad weird. And I be wanting to literally go off like, bro, you telling me you don't know what car insurance you have at your grown age? Like, these parents do that shit on purpose. Like, they really do. So you'll have the Haitian immigrant parents that do it on purpose, where it's like they want them to be so like, oh my God, I need my parents. And this kind of goes into the strict parenting thing. And then you'll have the ones that kind of do it where it's like they want their kids to do everything for them. So then it's like, okay, they become so independent that they can do it for themselves, and like they don't want to be bothered with it. So you have the two spectrums of it. Then you have the immigrant parents that literally work their kids so much to the point where their kids can't speak up for themselves whatsoever. Like, they are so scared to death that they will never say anything to their parents about how literally being emotionally, physically, verbally, and maybe even most of the time physically abused. Personally, I definitely understand this, and it's one of the hardest things to do. I ended up doing this a couple of times, and I will tell you this right now, Haitian people are literally the most stubborn people, especially when they get to the older ages. They most of the time won't change. It's up to us for the most part to change as the newer generation, but it's so sad how many people are literally young as fuck and are literally retaining the same mentality and the same type of stubbornness as the older generation. I will say that we have to try though. If you are one of those people that have fallen into this type of bubble where you feel like your parents are not listening, where you are terrified of your parents, you're not going to be heard, they're not going to listen, you have to try. Talk to them in public, bring them to a restaurant, bring them in front of other family members. There's a lot of things you can do, but you have to try. Especially, again, if you have kids, if you plan on bringing them around your kids, you could just cut them off cold turkey. Honestly, there's a lot of people I know who have done that. They just never talk to their parents again. But to be honest, I feel like that might be counterproductive. But bring them in public, bring other people around, or you can literally have a conversation over the phone. They can't hit you. Like, you know, you have to talk to them because you'd be surprised. A lot of parents just don't know. Like, that's another thing a lot of people don't understand. You could have a toxic friend, a toxic family member, even a toxic parent that doesn't know they're being toxic. A lot of people think that when people are being mean or being bad or being toxic that they know. A lot of times, a lot of people don't know they're being toxic. A lot of people don't know that they be ain't shit. A lot of people don't know that they're doing things to you that are hurting you unless you tell them. A lot of people have not been taught the errors of their ways. A lot of people have not been taught, okay, this is bad. This is not how you treat someone. A lot of people just go about their business because that's how they've been taught. That's how they learn to communicate. That's how they learn to navigate this world. So if you don't tell them, hey, I don't like to be treated this way. I don't like how you said this. I don't like how you did that. They just gonna continue to do it. And for a lot of Haitian parents, I feel like that's the way it is. Their parents did this to them because their parents did that to them because their grandparents did, you know? So you have to tell them sometimes, hey, I don't like how you communicate this. But there's a way to do it. You can't just go to them like, I don't know, like you can't be rah-rah about it. But you have to have an open and honest conversation like, hey, I don't like that you call me a cochon sans avis mal whooped. Like, I mean, you can't say it like that. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a way to do it so that it's not offensive. They don't see it as disrespectful, but you're being open and honest. It's a conversation that's going to be hard, but it's a conversation that prompts you to move forward and doesn't cause anyone any hurt. That is also productive. We have to break the cycle. And if it gets that bad, you're probably just gonna have to move out. And when I'm talking about move out, I'm not talking about move 2 miles away like my dumb ass did. Well, I didn't move 2 miles away. I moved like 8 miles away. Next city over, but if you can, move out of state. You have to cut the umbilical cord. If they can call you and you can be there within 30 minutes, then move far enough. You have to move out of state to the point where you can't run to their beck and call whenever they need you. You have to move away to the point where they're like, damn, I should have never pushed this kid away so far. You have to move away to the point where they're like, shit, what did I do to make this kid move out of state? And that's gonna force them to be like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have took all their money when they were 14, 15, 16. Wow, maybe I wasn't that nice. Wow, maybe I should have congratulated them when they were getting B's and they were such a damn hard worker in that class. You know, you want to make them really think about what they did and think about why you moved away. Because in the Haitian culture, kids don't move away unless they're married. And if you do, 9 times out of 10, they're going to think about, damn, why my kid moved away? And that's going to force them to think twice about what they might have did as a parent. So that's definitely probably going to be worst case scenario. Everything that you literally had to do for them, teach them how to do it on their own if they're teachable. Because sometimes some of them really do probably have a learning disability. People need to understand Haiti is a country where a lot of people are illiterate, and most of them are probably illiterate because they probably do have legitimate learning disabilities that are undiagnosed. That's something a lot of people do not take into consideration. Maybe they really can't read or can't write or whatever because they really probably have learning disabilities, just like over here a lot of people do have learning disabilities. So that brings me to my next point. Please try to be compassionate. Try to understand that maybe there is something that they may have that we may not be able to understand. And that brings me again to my next point, that you probably want to divide the work. If you have multiple siblings and everything's falling on you, call your other siblings to fucking help. That's something I don't understand, why only certain things fall on certain siblings in these types of scenarios. Like if you have like 9, 10, 8, 25 siblings, why is it only the oldest or the youngest? Like honestly, make your other siblings help. Divide the work, okay? Divide the work and be like, hey, Jason, you do this. Ashley, you do that. Michelle, you do that. Like, you know, delegate one for the electronic thing, delegate one for the bills, delegate one for the language barrier, you know? Just divvy up the work so it's not all falling on you. This is a lot of work. This was a very heavy conversation, but it needed to be had. Please take care of yourselves because you are more important than anything. If you're busy taking care of everyone else, who's going to take care of you? With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. Comment down below. What did you think about this video? Are you the product of an immigrant household? How did you grow up? What did you do to deal with it? Because I'd love to hear all your stories down below. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.